Welcome to Fluent Story Hub.
Welcome to Fluent Story Hub, where every page you read brings you closer to speaking English with confidence. Are you ready to start our story? Let's dive in. The Missing Key. Chapter 1. The Loud Silence. Sam loved his bed. It was warm, soft, and comfortable. Every morning, his alarm clock made a loud noise at 7 a.m. Sam usually hated that noise, but today, there was no noise. There was only silence. Beautiful, quiet silence. Suddenly, Sam opened his eyes. He looked at the window. The sun was high in the sky. The birds were singing. Sam felt a cold panic in his stomach. He turned his head quickly to look at the clock on his small table. The clock said 8:15 a.m. "Oh no!" Sam shouted. He jumped out of bed. His feet hit the cold floor. No, this is impossible. I have a very important meeting at 8:30 a.m. Sam worked as an accountant at a big company in the city center. His boss, Mr. Green, was a very serious man. Mr. Green did not like late employees. He always said, "Time is money, and being late is losing money." Sam ran to the bathroom. He washed his face with cold water. He did not have time to shower. They went his hair nicely. He ran back to his bedroom and opened his wardrobe. He grabbed the first shirt and the first pair of trousers he saw. The shirt was blue and the trousers were gray. He put them on quickly. He forgot to put on matching socks. One sock was black and the other was dark blue. But Sam did not care about his socks right now. He only cared about the time. He ran downstairs to the kitchen. He wanted to make coffee, but he looked at the clock on the microwave. It was 8:20 a.m. "No coffee today," Sam whispered to himself. His stomach made a hungry noise. He picked up an apple from the kitchen table and put it in his bag. Now, he was ready. He had his clothes, his bag, and his shoes on. He walked to the front door. He reached into his pocket to take his car keys. His pocket was empty. Chapter 2. The Search in the Kitchen. Sam stood by the front door. He put his hand into his right pocket. Nothing. He put his hand into his left pocket. Nothing. "Calm down," Sam told himself. "Think. Where are the keys? You always put the keys in the same place." Every evening, when Sam came home from work, he put his car keys in a small red bowl on the table near the front door. He looked into the red bowl. The bowl was empty. Well, it was not completely empty. There was a small coin, an old receipt from the supermarket, and a piece of chewing gum. But there were no keys. "Okay, maybe I left them in the kitchen," Sam thought. He ran back to the kitchen. The kitchen was small but usually clean. Sam began his search. First, he looked on top of the kitchen table. There was a plate, a knife, and the fruit bowl. No keys. Then, he looked under the kitchen table. He dropped to his knees and looked at the floor. He saw some breadcrumbs and a small toy belonging to his dog, but no keys. Next, Sam checked near the coffee machine. He lifted the coffee machine. Nothing. He checked behind the microwave. It was dusty, but there were no keys. He opened the fridge. Why would the keys be in the fridge? Sam did not know, but he was desperate. He looked between the milk and the cheese. No keys. He closed the fridge door quickly. It was now 8:25 a.m. Sam was starting to sweat. His heart was beating fast. He could picture Mr. Green's angry face in his mind. "Where can they be?" Sam cried out. Chapter 3. The Living Room Chaos. Sam left the kitchen and ran into the living room. The living room was bigger than the kitchen. It had a large brown sofa, a television, a big bookshelf, and a beautiful green carpet. Sam walked quickly to the sofa. Maybe they fell out of my pocket yesterday when I was watching TV, he thought. He began to search the sofa. He pulled the big cushions off the sofa and threw them on the floor. He put his hand deep into the spaces between the parts of the sofa. He found many things. 3 old pens, a small notebook, some old television guides, a pair of lost sunglasses, but he did not find his car keys. He stood up and looked at the bookshelf. He walked to it and started moving the books. He looked behind the novels and under the dictionaries. Books fell to the floor. The room was becoming a complete mess. Then Sam looked at the big green carpet. He walked around the room, looking down at his feet. He checked next to the television stand. He checked behind the curtains. He even looked inside a large flower pot near the window. The plant looked surprised, but it did not have his keys. Suddenly, Sam heard a small noise. Woof! Sam turned around. His small brown dog, Max, was standing at the living room door. Max was wagging his tail. He looked very happy. Max loved mornings because Sam usually gave him food and played with him. Today, Sam was not playing. Sam was running around the house like a crazy person. Max thought this was a new, fun game. Chapter 4: Max's Secret. Max, Sam said, looking at his dog, did you take my keys? Is this your game? Max tilted his head to the side. He did not understand the words, but he liked the attention. He let out a small, happy bark and ran down the hallway. Sam followed him. Max, stop! Show me your bed! Max's bed was in the corner of the hallway under the stairs. It was a comfortable gray bed with many toys inside it. Max sat next to his bed and looked at Sam. Sam arrived at the dog bed. He knelt down on the floor again. He began to check Max's possessions. He found a plastic bone, a dirty tennis ball, and a soft toy bear. Max watched Sam closely. When Sam picked up the toy bear, Max barked loudly. Is it under here? Sam asked. He lifted the soft gray cushion of the dog bed. He searched the floor underneath it. There was nothing but dog hair. Sam sighed and sat on the floor next to Max. He stroked the dog's head. I'm sorry, Max. I know you didn't take them. You were a good boy. I am just very stressed. Sam looked at his watch. It was 8:30 a.m. The meeting is starting right now, Sam said softly. His voice was sad. He knew he was in big trouble. He needed to call his office. He needed to tell his boss the truth, even if the truth sounded stupid. Sam took his mobile phone out of his bag. He found Mr. Green's number and pressed call. The phone rang 3 times. Then a loud, serious voice answered. Green speaking. Chapter 5: The Phone Call. Good morning, Mr. Green, Sam said. His voice was shaking a little. This is Sam. Sam, where are you? Mr. Green asked loudly. Sam could hear the sound of papers moving in the background. The meeting is starting. Everyone is here. We are waiting for your financial report. I am very sorry, Mr. Green, Sam said, closing his eyes. I am still at home. My alarm clock didn't ring this morning, so I woke up very late. And now I have a big problem. I cannot find my car keys. I am searching the whole house, but they are gone. There was silence on the phone for 3 long seconds. Sam held his breath. Then Mr. Green spoke. His voice was not angry. It was surprisingly calm, but very firm. Sam, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has bad mornings. but we need that report. Can you take a taxi? Can you take the bus? Sam thought about it. The bus stop is 20 minutes away from my house by foot. The bus takes 30 minutes to get to the city center. If I take the bus, I will arrive at 9:30 a.m. Taxis are very difficult to get in this neighborhood in the morning because everyone is going to work. Well, Sam, Mr. Green said, you need to find a solution. Find your keys or find a taxi. But I want you in this office before 9:15 a.m. Do you understand? Yes, Mr. Green. Thank you. I will try my best, Sam said. He ended the call. He put his phone on the table. He had 15 minutes to find the keys and drive to work, or his boss would be very angry. Chapter 6. The Simple Truth. Sam stood in the middle of his messy hallway. He felt tired and defeated. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Think, Sam. Think normally, he whispered. Yesterday was Monday. You came home at 6 p.m. It was raining heavily. You walked through the front door. You were wet. Suddenly, a memory came to his mind. Yesterday, it was raining very hard. When Sam came inside the house, he did not put his keys in the red bowl immediately because his hands were full. He had his umbrella in one hand and a big bag of groceries in the other hand. He was wearing his big yellow raincoat. The raincoat, Sam shouted. He ran to the coat rack behind the front door. There were 3 coats hanging there, a black winter coat, a blue jacket, and his big yellow raincoat. The raincoat was still a little damp from the rain yesterday. Sam put his hand into the right pocket of the yellow raincoat. His fingers touched something small, hard, and metallic. He pulled his hand out. There they were. His car keys were shining in his hand. The little metal keyring had a small picture of a car on it. I found them, Sam yelled happily. Max barked and jumped up and down. Sam did not waste another second. He grabbed his bag, opened the front door, and ran to his car. He unlocked the door, sat in the driver's seat, and put the key into the ignition. The car engine started with a happy purr. He looked at the dashboard clock. It was 8:37 a.m. If he drove carefully but quickly, he could make it to the office by 9:10 a.m. As he drove down the street, Sam smiled. He was still wearing 2 different socks and he was very hungry, but he had his keys and he was going to save his job. From that day on, Sam promised himself 2 things: always check his raincoat pockets and buy a second alarm clock. Activity questions. Before we finish, I have a few questions for you. I would love to hear your answers in the comments. 1. Why did Sam wake up late? A. Because he was sick. B. Because his alarm clock did not ring. C. Because it was the weekend. 2. Where does Sam usually put his car keys? A. In the fridge. B. In his wardrobe. C. In a small red bowl near the door. 3. What did Sam find inside the sofa cushions? His keys and a wallet. B. Old pins, a notebook, and sunglasses. C. Dog toys and money. 4. Who did Sam call to explain his problem? A. His mother. B. A taxi driver. C. His boss, Mr. Green. 5. Where did Sam finally find his car keys? A. Under the dog's bed. B. In the pocket of his yellow raincoat. C. Behind the microwave in the kitchen. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our journey today. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to Fluent Story Hub for more English stories. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Keep practicing, stay brave, and see you in the next story. Goodbye!